inspired me to start YouTube.
Me?
I think that's a good I think that's a good starting point. No, 100%. You're the first person who was actually in my inner circle who
What's that?
did
Oh, sorry. Like,
Hello everyone and welcome to the We're Not Daijoubu podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me. I wrote an introduction for her, which she already heard already, but it's okay. We're doing it again. She's more of a tea professional than TPT. She's the influencer who taught me what an epilator is, and I almost killed her with my car. It's Violet. Hello.
okay, now I can talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, no, you didn't have to be so quiet before.
I didn't want to.
It's okay.
Background noise. You know, I didn't want to be that person.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes.
I'm very excited because we have history. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, over a decade of memories.
It's crazy to think about, though. Like,
How long?
it has to be a decade, right?
5th grade? 4th grade. 5th grade. No, middle school.
Middle school. It was middle school.
So 5th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, college, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 years post. 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, I just
That
counted
long?
if I
Okay.
did math right.
That sounds really long, but I'm gonna go with it because it honestly probably is.
Because if
15
we're like
years.
around 30 and you subtract 15 by half and it was middle school, it's like 15 years old, 12, 13,
Right, but
14,
I'm
15.
older than you.
But still like around
So-
that era, right?
We'll say around 15
Decade.
to date me. Oh. Oh, we have so much to go over today, and I don't even know where to start.
Good thing you have an outline.
A good thing I have an outline. I want to really start with how you inspired me to start YouTube.
Me?
I think that's a good. I think that's
Are
a
you
good starting
serious?
point. No, 100%. Did
I
you
did
not
not-
know this?
I didn't actually read your outline that well.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I mean, I'm ad-libbing a lot too, so it's fine.
All good.
But no, it's honestly true. And this is the reason why. So I feel like I've always been interested in like content creation and YouTube and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
like, just like OG YouTube as well, I feel like that really started while we were in school and kind of like
Like the Asian Americans on YouTube
Yes.
era, right? Like the
Kajumba,
Kathy
Kathy Nguyen.
Higa,
Oh my god, Kathy Nguyen.
Timothy De La Ghetto.
Yes.
Even though he's changed his name now to his very long last name, but yeah,
Yes.
that era.
That because that was
Wong
like
Fu.
almost I'd like to think it's almost the starting point of YouTube too.
Oh, yeah.
But it was more just like the point where people would be able to have a public platform and get viewers in a way that was like just not really possible with Facebook and
Yeah.
other things at the time, because all those other apps were more of a closed circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just that confidence that those people had in paving the way was like, I was like, oh my gosh, these people, like, oh, I could never do that.
Yeah.
But you're the first person who was actually in my inner circle who
What's that?
did.
Oh, sorry. Like, I shouldn't swear.
No, you can't. But
PG.
I feel like that was such like a inspiration point for me, because no one else in my circle I felt like was doing that.
So I was the freak. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, I feel like not a lot of people during that time were doing that, but like everyone watched like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I specifically remember like the first time like I was in like a video you were making too. I'm pretty
Is
sure.
the SF vlog?
No, I'm pretty sure it was when we went to LA.
Oh.
I think it was the LA vlogs, like way back when.
Yeah, I think SF came after that because we would go to like we'd take BART, go up, and then go around like Valley Fair and stuff like that. And we were in Nordstrom.
Mhm.
Do you remember that? I would like record that too, but probably LA probably went before that.
LA stuck in my mind a lot more because it just felt like, you know, like we would always go to SF even if you
Yeah.
weren't filming, right? But
Ideal
LA was,
vlog.
yeah. But LA was literally like, oh, she's like vlogging.
Oh yeah, and like no one watched that video. It was just like for funsies too.
And then it kind of like escalated a little more like when we were in college together.
Mhm.
the epilator video as like the first blow up moment. I was so proud. I was like, she's made it. Oh my gosh.
Try to suppress that memory.
Did not know what an epilator was, I'll be completely honest. I was like, what's she holding?
Oh my god. I can't even.
But that, and then the baby food challenge video that we did.
Oh. That was fun.
It was fun, but I'll be so honest. I'm so glad that part of YouTube trends has died.
The challenges.
The challenges were
cinnamon powder.
Yeah.
Challenge where you hurt yourself.
The smoothie challenge, and then just like random people eating dog food all the time. I was like,
yeah, it's like less food, and now like how many ways can you hurt yourself? I feel like those are still there, but the food ones are long.
Well, even the extreme stuff, I feel like has taken a step back just because YouTube regulations. It's
safety.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's still kind of a lot of that on like TikTok and those kind of platforms, but it's a shorter form content too, so I feel like it still is different. There's not like all the hype from the beginning of the video and then they like jump off a building and break their leg or something. It's like, ugh.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think all of like cumulatively all of your like just watching you do video got me to the point of actually having the confidence to do it when I moved to Japan.
Oh, okay. I'm just laughing because, not at you, I'm just laughing because like my videos were complete trash, so I don't know how any of that inspired anyone. But I appreciate it.
Like, I don't think it's the quality of the video though. Like, just doing it. And because I would like to think that our level of like video knowledge and skill has grown since the baby food challenge.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I'm just like thinking about all the shitty cameras that I used up until where they're like the watermark when there was no editing apps. And so like it would watermark over the videos and it looked like I was filming with the toaster.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So yes, I do agree. I think our equipment has drastically changed.
And just our like on-camera presence.
Yeah, more comfortable.
Was so awkward back then. I was so awkward even if there wasn't a camera pointing at me.
Yeah.
So thank God I got out of that. Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to think that we're at a higher level. But it still did inspire me because I think if no one in my circle did that or I had no exposure whatsoever.
Even now, I feel like not a lot of people do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it would be the same thing as like trying to get into acting or something like that. Yes. Or trying to be a comedian.
Yes. It's like very out there. Or not out there, but it takes a lot of, I don't know, courage to just start it and then continue doing it. And it takes a lot of work.
Right. Because you see it pretty much on the daily.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like it's at a point where it's unattainable. Because it's like all these other people. And then also being Asian, like you're kind of discouraged to do anything that's outside the box because there's risk. The more risk you incur, the more they're going to be like, oh, well, bad decisions make a bad life. So
there's like disrespect on the ancestors. Like trying so gently to put my drink down.
You're fine. I will edit it out. Don't even worry.
Thirst trap.
But yeah, I want to thank you for that.
God, the podcast is going to start this way.
But I think this is a good segue to talking about how content has changed too. Because, as we said before, thank God no more baby food challenges. Thank God we can eat normal food on camera.
Thank God.
So blessed.
In large quantities, apparently.
Yes. I still can't do that. Like,
I can't either.
I'm not a big eater, so that's why I've never gotten like into mukbang, because it's like
also no one has the money to like be a food blogger unless you have money and time to spare eating out all the time.
Unless you have an audience, because they're all door dashing everything or
like going.
And I'm like, okay, so you ordered everything on the menu, and that's like $500, but you like make that up when you make a video like that. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, that would be leftovers for a month for me.
Must be nice to not have to cook.
But yeah, I think things have just changed so much. Not just in YouTube, but just how content is made and the kind of audiences that there are now. Yeah. Because everything seems to be more surrounded by shorts and shorter form content. like I think there is still a market for long form content,
Oh yeah, 100%.
but it's a generational gap too
Yeah.
with long form content. Because it just seems like everyone is more interested in the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say I like the short form content a little better.
Yeah.
But it was really hard to
switch.
Exactly. Because I like having more time.
Yeah, 100%. More storage space.
More storage space, more time, and being able to produce more in a limited amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're almost rewarded for that because overall you get more views. You don't necessarily get more watch time, but you 100% get more views, especially because it's like split up cross-platform too.
Yeah.
But lately I'm also like, I kind of miss the long form. I don't miss editing long form.
Oh,
but
I don't think anyone
do
enjoys
miss
that.
Just like the creation of longer form.
Yes. Storytelling.
Yes.
In a longer format, yeah.
And I've always been bad at storytelling, but
No.
I think so. But
I think it's all subjective.
True.
There's always an audience for something.
Yeah, so I think right now I'm kind of in a battle between, like, I love having this podcast as a long form outlet because I've been kind of disregarding like the YouTube audience and just YouTube in general, moving over to TikTok and Instagram Reels a little more, just because you get that instant gratification. You post, whoa, 600 views? Oh my god, I never got that on any of my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
No monetization, but that's fine. But yeah, it's just the gratification part I'm much more into. What do you feel like? What do you like more?
I think it totally depends. I feel like it's all subjective, which is why there's like different content. I think it's interesting how it started from how did TikTok start? It was like the dance Bitly, Chatly, something Musically. So TikTok was originally Musically or something like that.
Well, so I think
right?
TikTok blew up because everyone missed Vine.
Yeah. The dance part though, didn't it come from Musically? Because my brother, who's like Gen Z or whatever, told me.
I think it was like half dance, but a lot of lip singing was Musically, I think.
Oh, okay. So maybe it got like mashed. I thought they like rebranded or something like that.
I'm not sure if Musically. I don't think Musically turned into TikTok because TikTok's a Chinese company.
Okay, that's true. Okay, either way.
But I think a lot of people miss like Vine short form content, and so because everyone who was on Vine and was famous on Vine, they were like, oh, what do we do now that Vine's gone?
Yeah.
And so TikTok was the next best option that kind of like blew up. So they emulated Vine in a sort of way, but I think they focused more on what people wanted in the moment. And I think a lot of that was dancing.
Gotcha. See, this is how out of touch I am with like all these platforms. But I think it's totally subjective. I feel like there's a place for short form content and then a place for long form content. I think in my perspective and the way it works is short form content is a really great way to outreach to audience members and like push your stuff out. And then it's like they come for the short form, they stay for the long form. That's how like I see it at least. I personally in the past like year or so have been off more platforms. So like I stopped using Instagram this year. I tried to make a TikTok back when it was exploding, but then it was just like too much for me.
Yeah.
And it took up like too much of my phone space,
it's
like
really
quite literally. So I don't have like I have Instagram, I don't use it as much. I don't have TikTok. I recently started doing more YouTube shorts, but I think I just prefer long form content because that's what I like to watch. So it totally depends on the viewer because I like to produce what I like to watch because then that makes me not regret what I'm making and then take it down like or like making something private that was like previously public. But yeah, it totally depends. I think with long form, I just enjoy storytelling more. I like to watch YouTubers who do long form content because I get to know them on a like deeper level. With the short form, and it totally depends on the subject because if it's a YouTuber who's like a lifestyle, then I feel like long form content is better. But if it's like a YouTuber who's a comedian, then I like the short form because then it's like I just get the snippets of what I want.
Right.
But so it totally depends on what you want out of your audience and what you are doing in your specific like realm or space on YouTube. But I just personally prefer long form because I don't know, like creating projects, I guess, longer projects.
But I also think there's more of a satisfaction when you create something long form than short form too.
Yeah.
Because it feels like long form content sticks with people a little more, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, remember that TikTok?" But I'm kind of like, I can't remember.
You also can't watch like TikTok and Instagram videos unless you have the app now. Because now that I've removed it, people send me links all the time. Like, I can't watch it. So I'm like, I don't know what you're sending me because I can't, like, literally the link does not work anymore unless you're like logged in or whatever. So I think that's like another thing. They like really try to get you on the platform, but that's just my personal opinion. Yeah. But it's great for like pets and like comedy.
Like, I agree.
The short form.
Yeah.
I think 100% like the short form for pets.
Well, because it's almost like a picture, but it's a short video instead.
I just want to see more dogs in my feed as fast as possible. 100%.
I wanted to ask you, because this is something that it's like an issue, I guess, but maybe it's me overthinking, but it's something that I've run into, especially with my YouTube channel. Sticking within a niche. I don't think I can do it.
I think nowadays you don't have to. I think it's evolved to the point where people like to see different facets of a person's life or a person's content. That's why I just turned it into lifestyle content, because there's so many different things that I like to do. Like, I might be passionate about a few things in my life that I would say my like values and like identity revolve around, but I do that in a different way and not like through creative content. So within the creative content, I feel like now nowadays people are leaning towards lifestyle, because then you could do a lot of things. And then it's like, unless you're an expert and like that is your thing all the time, then you can like go into that like niche. But I don't think you need to like, your audience is also diversified, right? So they have different interests. But I used to try to put myself in that box, but I don't, it's just too hard. I just like to do different things. So it's like, might as well. And then if people want to stick around, they stick around. If they don't, then like, peace.
And I think my issue comes more from a competitive mindset as well, because YouTube has become such a competitive platform. I think, you know, whenever you see one of those videos that blow up about growing your YouTube channel or something like that, they really push the idea of being or staying in some kind of niche in order to grow that specific audience and like have more of an audience retention, I guess. I don't know, it's hard when you are not having like a YouTube channel as a business and like just having YouTube as a lifestyle or to document your own stuff. It's so different because your life continuously changes too. It's not like you're doing it for some kind of business and you're like, we sell jeans. And so all your content can be surrounded by jeans, how to make jeans and do this with your jeans. But you can continuously do that for the span of the whole business itself.
And people evolve, so channels evolve. And I think with niches, it can go in your favor or it can't. And I think more so the consistency of a channel, whether it's the way you edit or the vibe that you bring, is what I feel like is the niche itself. Like, the personality of the YouTuber is the niche. So if that person is consistent with it, then it's more of a you can still retain audience members without having to go into like a specific like topic, if that makes sense. Right.
But I think it's just a lot of things in combination, because it's like, what are you supposed to do as a YouTuber or someone who wants to grow? And then this other side where it's like, what do you want to do with your own channel? It's your own reflection of yourself.
It's a constant like battle / evolving thing. And same with you. It got to my head all the time, and I kept changing things. I kept rebranding all these things. And then after a while, it's just like, F it. I'm just going to do whatever. It just drove me so nuts that I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, if I think about it too much, then I overthink, and it's like...
Because I think you do need to separate it. Like, is it a business or is it an outlet for your life?
Exactly.
Because I don't think it can be both, and you can live healthy in that kind of
there's
aspect.
like having a balance between it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm still deciding which one mine is.
It's all trial and error, you know. You
is,
see what works, you see what you like to do. That's like a huge factor. And if what you like to do is what is working, then it's like you hit the jackpot, you know. So.
It's the comparison aspect too, because a lot of the channels that I watch and that have been more longevity, they have such a high quality video output. They're posting this many times a week and stuff, and it psychs me out. But I do know, like, you know, these people, they have teams, they have editors. It's not like a one-person production anymore. But then I also feel like, because I'm on the same platform, that's still a competition. But how does one person compete with like an empire, basically, right? It's not feasible, it's not possible.
Yeah.
So it's coming to terms with that too, which I think is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. We have a whole 3-camera setup. Like, normal people don't do this.
No.
Like, normal one people team do not do this. But no. I'm crazy, I think.
Hey, you do you, man. F the haters. Can't see the haters with my love glasses on.
Listen, if the video and the podcast turn out well, that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's podcasts or just video people in general, who don't put as much effort. They get lots of views. Like, I don't think quality is like the end all thing that makes something popular.
Yeah, and like, you're always learning. It's always a learning opportunity. You're getting better as you go. So
yeah. Hopefully I'm learning.
Always learning.
Oh, that first podcast, the video quality was so bad. I cringed so much.
It's hard. It's not easy.
Why did I use an action camera to point at myself? I was so blurry.
You wanted the action.
Oh, cringe. Do you also use a lot of the analytic features on YouTube, or
no?
Okay, you're done with that life now,
I'm
right?
so over it. Yeah,
that's good.
I think that's what got me back into the flow, is just being able to create and enjoy what I like and spending more time on it. So I do like a once a month vlog, and that in itself takes forever. So I can't imagine people who vlog all the time. But yeah, just knowing that I can just do one thing once a month and enjoy it has got me back into the flow of creating and not rooting into it. I mean, like, I check my YouTube studio to see what's it called, like how much money I'm getting, but right. But I'm not like, oh, like if I'm not making a certain amount, I'm not gonna like get what's it called, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it.
Right.
Yeah, just because I also just have like a regular 9-to-5 job and then like another job on top of that, so I'm like, I don't have the time for this.
Yeah, the revenue thing, I try not to look at it because it makes me depressed. I'm like, oh,
I mean, I'm not allowed to. But I feel like unless your video is going super viral and it's like very, very long with ads, you're not going to make a lot of money from it. Most YouTubers make money off of sponsorships anyways.
Right, but I also think, so depending on what niche you're into, you make more money off of ads.
Yeah, if you're in tech, like, you make a lot of money.
Yeah, tech, makeup, and then things that promote becoming a YouTuber or the YouTube platform. Yeah. They make a lot of money.
Like service, finance.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
But
agree.
Apparently people don't like stuff about Japan because I'm not getting any of those ads.
That's so funny. That's because Japan's been closed for like so long.
I know, but it's open again. Everyone's going and I'm so jealous. I don't know what to do.
You'll get there. Something
else that I brought up in your introduction, and I think it's a story that we should tell, is how I almost killed you with my car.
Oh my god. It's
so
blurred.
And I think like people are going to be like, oh my gosh. But
is it a cool story though, or is it like lame that I almost died?
Well, the thing though is I feel like you have so many, and I am not trying to jinx anything, but like near-death experiences.
I truly do. It's become so common that I'm just so unfazed by it.
Right. And so I think when other people hear this story, they're like, oh my god. But now, because I know the extent of how many times you've been in a situation where it's like, ooh, like it's not as surprising anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of want to like title this
podcast,
for it. How I Almost Killed You with My Car.
It's like the 1 minute portion of the whole video, but it's like just that. You gotta put a little chapter in right there, just for this one spot.
Oh, the chapters for the SEO.
And then you'll see the analytics spike on that one little chapter about me falling out of the car. Yeah.
Well, they want to know, you know. For context, this was back in college, Cal Poly.
Oh my god.
I specifically remember we were doing a photo shoot.
Really?
We were doing a photo shoot. We went to it was like kind of like off of one of those like highways, and it was like a field of just like grass, and there was a cliff. And
It's like Olive Slow, basically.
Basically.
A field with a cliff.
Yeah, but I was like trying to look my best, which college was not like.
I feel like college was puberty for me.
Honestly, though,
Like late
because
puberty.
I look back and I'm like, oh well, I'm way more put together now. But then I look back at high school too, and that's where the generational gap gets like really scary because like high school people who like they have Instagram now, they know how to dress and stuff like that. Oof, I was
so late to the Instagram game. I remember when everyone had it, I'm like, what is this? I didn't have Instagram till I think freshman year of college.
I didn't have it until college.
But even then, like I didn't even post on it that much until I think like junior year is when I started using it. So I'm like so late. Watch me be 80 and download TikTok then if it's still around.
They're gonna have something new, 100%. It's gonna
now there's grandmas on TikTok.
It's gonna be TikTok, but like VR.
TikTok, the time's running out. You're gonna die. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we were doing a photo shoot. Once again, was not looking my best, but was feeling it. I was feeling it. And so, I was the chauffeur for you back then. I've been the chauffeur for you for quite some time.
Still is.
But I had one of those cars where, and I miss this car dearly.
I still remember the smell of the car. quite vividly.
I don't remember the smell, but as long as
it wasn't bad. It wasn't
like
the
cat
car
litter,
almost
right?
died in smell.
But it was one of those cars where it had an automatic seatbelt, and they don't make these anymore because obviously it's unsafe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we didn't get ejected out of the car multiple times, but it was the seatbelt was hooked onto the door, so when you opened it, the seatbelt would automatically
secure me.
Yeah, secure and unsecure.
Yeah.
And so technically, you didn't need to like put on an actual seatbelt. There was a bottom one for your waist. But I was like...
Weren't they like attached to each other or something?
No, I don't think so. I think it was like a separate one. And I was like, nah, you don't have to put that on. We're going to be safe. It's fine.
Sorry, Mom.
So we're wrapping up with the photo shoot. We get in my car. I need to make like a U-turn.
The widest U-turn you could ever make.
And I'm making the U-turn. And all of a sudden, I hear a scream.
You did not warn me. You were making the U-turn. I feel like.
Well,
dude, I don't remember. I just remember falling.
we were in the car. Everything was secure, to my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
To my knowledge, I'm making the U-turn. The passenger door flies open like a boomerang. It was like. Bruh.
The wind was so strong when you did the U-turn. How could it not swing out?
And so I was like. Oh, this is it for my... Your reactions were very good then, because just like flick of the switch, you grab the door and you shut it.
Yeah.
And then we just sat there for a minute because we were both so shook.
Took my life together, try to recompose myself. I just remember being like parallel to the ground at one point with like half my body dangling out of your car.
It was kind of like a roller coaster where you kind of like whiplashed out of the car.
Yeah. And then I somehow, the gravity, like the G-force of it coming back once you came back out of that U-turn, like actually helped me close the door a little bit. But I don't know how I didn't like just completely fall out and die. But I was pretty close to the floor. Like I could see the cement like as you were turning it. Yeah, but I don't know what held me into that car. Probably like one of the bottom.
Probably just will and might.
Pretty cool. I was like, can't die today.
And karma.
Today.
Karma held you in. It was like
can't die today. I have a podcast 10 years from now I have to be on.
But I feel like it doesn't stop there. Your near-death experiences. And I feel like I'm always kind of like semi a part of it. Not
maybe
all
you're
of them,
bad luck.
but maybe I got like bad juju going on and it like affects the surrounding.
The car's gonna plunge right into here and your podcast is gonna go viral.
We're on the second floor. That would be amazing if a car...
Santa Claus is coming to town.
It would be more like a plane or a helicopter, I think.
We are near the airport.
Oh, that's true. It's okay. Don't jinx it. Moving on to your next near-death experience.
Oh God.
And there's a lot to talk about here. It's our trip to New Zealand. I would honestly, well, now that I think about it, I'm like, because I was gonna say I would honestly move there, but I don't know. I'm a city boy. I don't know.
I guess they kind of have a downtown.
Even what Auckland's the big.
I think
that
so.
that was
It's
the big
pretty
city.
small still,
It's
yeah.
pretty small. And I'm so spoiled because of Tokyo.
Yeah.
That it's like
the best city, like
yeah,
ever.
it's kind of like I have to move somewhere in Asia. It seems like
Yeah, I mean it's somewhat cheaper than the United States.
cheaper for sure. Yeah, but there's just so much to think about when you do that too. Language barrier, cultural barrier, blah 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 blah. Right?
Yeah.
But New Zealand, for context, we went there.
To plant trees.
And we planted a lot of trees. That was the most physical labor I've done in my entire life.
Yes, I don't know how we did it.
I felt so strong. Okay.
I was pretty fit.
I felt so strong until Ivan took me to the gym. And
you guys went to the gym together?
We went to the gym once.
When?
I don't know what you guys were doing, but we went. He was like, I need to go to the gym.
Oh, maybe in one of the hostels that we stayed at? Because I'm like, we stayed in that little cabin thing for most of it.
Oh, this was when we were traveling around the last 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
And he was like, oh, I missed the gym.
Well, Ivan was like ripped.
I was like, oh, I'll go to the gym. This 110 pound skinny ass. And I don't know if it was like me just trying to like keep up with him, but I died after that.
It's a different type of labor.
Because I remember we tried to go out to the bars after that, and I was not into it. I had to leave.
Tired.
I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. But besides that, the actual physical labor and like the hiking and stuff, I was feeling good.
Yeah, the cardio.
It was the fittest I've felt in my life.
Yeah.
But there was so many opportunities for death there. It was crazy. And going back, I wonder if it would be more regulated now than it was then.
I doubt it.
But I felt like, man, we were on
just
the
signing
edge of
waivers
our seats.
left and right, selling off our soul.
So the first near-death experience I remember is the bungee jump. I was fine with the bungee jump. You had a little bit of issue.
Yeah, I have small ankles. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, so
I was like trying to. So no one wanted to jump first, but I was like pretty ballsy back then. I was just like, I was the first person to jump because I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, why not? Mm-hmm. I was like, let's go. And then like I went to the front, and it was like a little nerve-wracking, like jumping off the bridge, obviously, because you're looking down. I'm not afraid of heights. It was just more so. I feel like what is it? A little elevation sickness, motion sickness.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What is it like when you're like hiking really far in elevation, it changes and you can get atmospheric like sickness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so when you drop too quickly between different elevations, your body kind of gets nauseous. That's what I didn't expect.
Right.
The jumping did not scare me. My stomach churning once I jumped because of like how quickly I dropped in gravity is what made me feel sick. But then like once you like hit the bottom, the bungee, it like swings. Mm-hmm. But like I don't think they like tied my feet tight enough.
Well, I remember they put a towel around first.
Yeah,
and then
just so it didn't hurt your legs.
Right.
Yeah. But mine was like, I just have weird ankles, and they tell you like, oh, like you'll be fine. Then if you bend your feet like this or whatever, like
yeah. So it'll like catch.
So your feet kind of like hook onto the rope or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like one of my ankles started slipping out, and then I was like, okay, this is not working. So I was flexing like the whole time when they were trying to, they bring the little boat over to grab you once you're done jumping. But like I had to keep my foot so taut while completely upside down so that I wouldn't fall out. Because every time I didn't, it would just like slip. And and like I don't think I would have died because I stopped bouncing and I would have just like slowly dropped into the water. Right. But like being attached by one foot upside down on a rope is like very uncomfortable. So I just remember my foot like slipping. It's not fun. It was not fun. And then all the blood is rushing to your head and you just felt like the nausea. Yeah, I did sign a waiver though.
Yeah. I want to share So it's not like a near-death experience. It was at New Zealand too,
Yeah.
but it was just like an uncomfortable experience, I guess. But I'd like to think it's near death. So it was skydiving for me.
Oh yeah, you actually went on that one.
So I did the skydiving. You opted out of the skydiving. But I really wanted to have a skydiving experience with a view. I think that was my...
And to say you skydived in New Zealand is like pretty cool.
Yeah, because I 100% rather skydive in New Zealand than
like in a desert here.
Or in Gilroy. Like you can do it in Gilroy. And I know people who've done it in Gilroy, and I'm like, well, what are you really seeing though?
Yeah.
But it's for the experience, so I understand. My issue with the skydiving is, I don't know if it was like a harness issue or
probably
something. But so you put the harness on, and then it almost has like a leotard situation because you're supposed to be kind of in a sitting situation.
My brother was in one of those when I did like this hot air balloon paragliding.
Right, yeah. It's similar to when you're paragliding.
Yeah.
It really like bunched up.
Yeah. My brother, same thing happened to my brother. He was very uncomfortable
the whole time. It was crazy.
And you can't do anything about it.
That was my near-death experience, right? Yeah.
Yeah, at that point.
Because I'm like, oh, should I jump?
Should I jump?
Should I just get it over with? It's like, this is not
Live fast, die young. Oh my god.
But like I felt that pain for the next like few days. Like it didn't just go away. It was like, oh wow. Like, there goes my ability to have a child or children.
That's so bad. Was that in the waiver? Can you, like, sue them later on?
I mean, I got a good video out of it, so it was fine. But it's so embarrassing, because in the video, you can see my discomfort, and him being like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm trying to tell him, like, yeah, my balls are being crushed, my guy. And I know you can't do anything about it, but... Now that I know that other people have this issue, I don't feel bad.
It's very
But I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this what skydiving is?
Yeah, they should have put that on the waiver. Or, like, I feel like if you have a guy who's guiding you, they should warn you, because they probably have experienced it. Unless they have balls of steel now.
You would think, but maybe it's like, you get accustomed to it as you keep skydiving.
It still should be a warning, though, your first time, like, if it's someone's first time skydiving.
Or, like, give you a cup or something.
I know. It's like when you bike, you have, like, the bike padding.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's like the same concept. That actually would have been pretty useful.
Hey, that's a new business. We should
skydiving.
Let's go in as partners.
Oh
skydiving cup.
Skydiving cup.
Do you have any other like best memories of New Zealand?
I think just like all of it, just being in the same space with everyone. New Zealand is freaking beautiful. 100% green screen. It looks like a green screen, postcard perfect every time you go. Just being there with new people, getting out of my comfort zone. Being in a different country, but it was like still pretty comfortable because it's very similar to like the States and UK and stuff like that. Being around awesome people, doing the bar crawl was really fun. The challenges at the bar crawl, we had to eat the muesli bars or whatever. They were dry AF. Do you remember the bar crawl?
I blacked out that night.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a granola bar challenge.
I remember everything before the what do you call it? When you mix that alcohol with the beer.
Sake bomb?
No. It's the really gross one that tastes like black licorice.
Oh, ew. I did not have that one. I don't like black licorice.
Damn, I'm blanking.
But you mix something.
It's people know the alcohol.
Okay.
Whatever. But after like the second or third bar, I don't remember very much.
Well, there was a challenge. I think there's like footage of it where you eat granola bars and it's like very, very dry because the specific ones that they have are like the muesli bars.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to eat the whole bar without water. Whoever swallows it first wins. But yeah, and you're like on the stage with everyone, and everyone's like watching you. But yeah, throughout the bar crawl, they had the challenges. But just like stuff like that was really fun, and being able to meet random people and hang out with the whole group and stuff like that. So I don't know, I can't pick a favorite. It's all great.
I think my highlights, because everything was great, but my highlights were the black water rafting.
Oh my god.
Also kind of a near-death experience.
That one was the most terrifying one for me, actually.
Well, they were like, oh.
Well, we went.
It's right after heavy
flooded,
rain.
yeah.
And
it's like just dipped below
Yeah.
the level that morning, like an hour before we got there. So it wasn't even like the day of it was safe. It was the hour before we got there.
Yeah. And so I was thinking like, okay, like it's
Yeah.
still safe, but you don't realize that like safe means like here's the top of the cave.
Yeah.
Here's where the water is, and you're kind of
Yeah.
just gotta...
If you're claustrophobic, oh no, do not
Yeah.
do that. But I feel like the most magical experience was that glowworm zip line.
Yes.
100% the most like Final Fantasy moment. I have like, it felt like I was in like a video game or some sort of like fairy tale. It was so epic. And,
Okay, once again with the zip lining, I had the ball issue again. And it was from the skydiving because they were still a little sensitive.
so bad.
So it kind of plagued the whole trip in when I needed to wear those harnesses or whatever, but I got through it. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was not a near-death experience. It
feels like death when you're in it, though.
True, though.
But yeah, I think we both agree the glowworm thing was pretty awesome.
That was really cool. I wish that we were able to visit the cave just with the glowworms too.
Yeah, because it looked like there was another end. I think it was the exit. But
yeah, well, there was another place where you can like walk through the cave and there are glowworms. I think.
Yeah,
but
it was pretty
kind of
cool.
Farther away. And then
it felt like Survivor.
True.
The whole thing felt like Survivor. Trying to hike in like knee-deep water inside a cave that's like yay big crawl space with rapids literally pushing you in the dark.
Survivor, except not eating bad food.
Yeah.
Bless that. And then the other thing is I remember being rejected at the club.
What? When?
Do you remember this?
No.
So it was, I don't remember what city we were in, but we were doing tequila shots at some bar. There was some girl and like everyone was like, oh, you should ask her to dance or something. And I went over and she was just like, no, and walked away.
Oh, okay, person rejected. I thought you meant you weren't able to enter the bar.
No.
I remember that bar. It was like orangey. Like I remember there's an orange light. It was almost like kind of more country than like pop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything was like wooden. There was a space and then I think we sat at like a booth or something.
Yeah, it was like a round booth.
I remember that one.
Yeah. That's, for some reason, I always remember that. That has made an impact on me.
But like most girls, I'd say no when someone asks.
Oh, 100%.
Like I would not.
I usually don't ask in the first place, so I think that's why I was like, oh wow, like
yeah. That's funny.
That's why it stood out to me.
That's so funny.
Yeah, we need to go back to New Zealand.
I know.
Let me know when you want to go.
One day when I have money.
Same. But speaking of money, I wanted.
Nice.
I wanted to talk about how you're a business owner. I feel like you should introduce your business before I just like, keep going about it. And then I have some questions about more just how you like kind of got to this point with your business, because I'm always amazed with people who are like have that entrepreneur mindset and are able to self-start from nothing and be able to concept this idea and push it into something feasible,
Mm-hmm. Aw, well, thank you. I feel like there's not very many times I've introduced my business verbally with anyone because I do such like direct to consumer or like direct to market. But I essentially own a tea business. To put it very simply for, most people, I sell tea. I sell full loose leaf tea, so it's not like in the sachets that you get at like the grocery store. I think nowadays there's more fancy ones, but it's the whole entire leaf itself, and it is blends, so it's not just like green tea, black tea, herbal tea, like sleepy time tea. They're unique blends that I took from my childhood or just like my life experiences, and then they just brought back a lot of memories. So I basically, the term I like to use is I turn memories into flavors. So it presents itself as like a story or a memory that another person might have experienced. They're all based on like Southeast Asian culture because I'm Southeast Asian. So I take a lot of those memories, such as like visiting family or like certain foods and dishes that I've had when I visited Asia, and I turn them into flavors. And hopefully, someone else who drinks them is able to have the same memory or the same nostalgia, but also have really good high quality tea that's not too expensive, but not too cheap either. I'm kind of like the mid range in between. But yeah, just fusion inspired, full loose leaf full loose leaf tea blends, and we have a essentials collection, which is your everyday like 3 teas, and then I have some like seasonal and like limited edition ones that I release. Yeah.
And no cap, these are really good teas.
Thank you.
I think my favorite, of course, is the lychee pearls.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a fruity drink person.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
there's something for everyone. I feel like. Yeah.
But I also love the black tea.
Yeah, the black tea is a good one.
It's just like a staple, 100%.
Yeah.
I need more of it, so I'll be.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different ingredients in it, so it's not like just Earl Grey or it's not just black tea. There's like other ingredients that I mix in to like kind of make it a little bit more dynamic, so it's not as like boring, I guess.
I do love the blends because I think that's something
makes a little bit more unique,
specific and more unique. And I also love not having like, oh, it's rose flavored or like very like,
oh yeah, floral stuff.
Yes.
That was one thing that I really hated about lychee green teas is they always put rose. I mean, I understand it's like a good pairing for a lot of people, but I just didn't want to drink potpourri every morning.
Yeah.
But I really like fruit teas. Like if you can get like a mango green tea, it's like why couldn't they do that for lychee but without the rose, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, and the lychee really like comes out too. It's not like, I don't know, even if people put kind of like dried mango chunks into it or they try to infuse in different ways where you're really getting like barely a hint of it.
Yeah.
Just because the flavor doesn't pair well with how the tea seeps and things like that.
Yeah. I think if you're an avid tea drinker or like a tea enthusiast, you get very numb to very, very subtle flavors. So having the option to create it more concentrated or have more flavor and like retain the flavor is like really nice option.
I 100% agree. But I wanted to get a little more into the nitty gritty as to how you started it. Because I think that's always so interesting, the conceptualization.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big tea person, so I wasn't surprised when you're like, tea business, 100%. I know, right? But you know a lot more about tea and even like coffee and stuff than a lot of people.
Do I know about coffee?
I think you do. But yeah, how did you get from, conceptualization to actually starting it? And what was like the biggest challenges, I guess?
Yeah. I think when I started staying in one place, like I was moving around a lot in my like early professional years, and then once I was finally in place, I'm like, okay, I want to kind of do something, I want to start something. So I started a lot of other little random businesses along the way that kind of led me to this point. But I always knew that I wanted to do something that I really enjoyed. And then I had previously worked at a boba shop, and then you drink too much sugar and milk all the time, and then you kind of cut back and you end up just drinking tea. And I really like the concept of how tea doesn't caffeinate you as much as coffee. Like I get kind of jittery and like anxious when I drink coffee, and then tea was a really nice one. And also like a lot of people drink tea. It's actually the second most drank beverage in the world after water, which people are a lot surprised at because they think coffee is the like go-to, which it's like the third, I think, but tea is like the most drinking across the world. And I was really tired of, after I stopped working at the boba shop, I was really tired of buying really bad tea because I felt like I was wasting my money. And then I was really tired of the blends or the flavors that were out there. I'm like, I want to make something unique. And I'm like, oh, like, what if I just made a tea business? Literally, it was like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I remember back when I lived at my old place. I'm like, I'm going to sell tea. So I like in my head, I didn't even have the internet, but in my head, I'm like, this is everything I need to do to make a tea business and just make it happen. And then literally the next morning, I just started doing it. And within a few months, I did everything from supply chain, packaging, like labels, everything is from scratch. Literally was just, I wanted to sell tea, figured out what I needed to do just to get like the bare basics and just made it happen. So everything is 100% from scratch through me. Didn't have much help, except financially at the end when I hit a hurdle where I was so close to launching, but I couldn't buy something in bulk because I didn't have enough money. I started it with very little. I think in total, I launched it with $1,200.
Wow.
I mean, that's like a lot of money to me because I don't make a lot of money.
Right.
But compared to like other businesses, that isn't a lot, and I didn't have that extra like $600 to finish the. Oh, it was like right there, and people were waiting for it, and then I had to like crowdsource it. Which I was very, very thankful that a lot of my friends and family members pitched in to like invest in an idea that they hadn't even seen yet. And so I was able to get that money, buy the last of my packaging, and put it all together. And then, I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I still am figuring things out with permitting and like other issues like that. But direct to consumer, I'd say the biggest challenge was as a person, I really value sustainability. That's what I went post-grad in. And it was basically impossible for me to be sustainable as a business at that startup level because there are just no resources. And you have to buy everything in bulk. If you have money, then you have like angel investors and stuff. Then like, yeah, you can be all these fancy like packaging. And then being sustainable with packaging is just so unrealistic because there's nothing on the market that makes sense, like whether it's virgin box cardboard, like virgin paper, or things that are recycled. And it's like there's no guarantee that anyone's going to recycle what you have because it's so many different cycles or whatever. But sustainability was definitely the hardest hurdle. And then I think learning operations and supply management is really hard because you have to, once you start, it's like you have to make money to keep going. So you can't buy more product until you sell it. But then it's like balancing between, okay, I have just enough to buy this many pounds of tea, but then I have to buy the labels and the packaging, which sets me back this much. But then I might make a little bit more. So balancing that was really hard.
I 100%.
I just rambled on for a very long time.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Just like
no. It's good because I like having or like knowing this information as well because I always feel like I'm in a situation where I want to start all these different things, whether it's content-based, whether it's like product-based, but it's different from idealization than actually committing to it too. And I think the hardest part for me is thinking about the money in it, right? Like how much do I want to invest in it?
Like how much are you willing to like let go if it doesn't work out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because I have the same kind of ideals as you in a sense where I love doing everything on my own. Like I think it at the end of the day, it makes you feel more accomplished. It makes you feel like you're able to not just like trust yourself, but be proud of yourself in a sense. And then the risk of things getting a little too messy if you have too many hands in it, right? Like not that I want to be someone who has 100% control over something and be this horrible tyrant in a way, but I do like having
creative control,
and just like the whole overview in my mind.
Also, the tax structure, I just want to put that out there. Taxes are awful.
Oh,
starting a business with taxes, whether you're service, product, industry, like whatever, complete, total challenge.
Well, and especially in California, right?
Oh my gosh, like, not small business friendly at all.
Yeah.
Awful. If you want to start a small business, go to Texas. That's all I'm saying.
Texas or Washington, right? Or is Washington?
It's not like income. You don't have there's no income tax, but like the tax laws and like the structuring is like way easier in different states than California.
Yeah. They really kind of make it hard.
Yeah, they don't make it easy. They still don't make it easy. Mad respect to any small business owner who has done anything from scratch and someone who feeds their family off of that. I don't know how they do it. So all the mom and pop shops that y'all go to, keep supporting them because, man, sometimes hanging on by a dear thread.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it was hard from conceptualization to actually like finding the product and not finding the product as in like making it, but like finding each of the things that you need in order to like make your blends and stuff like that? Or was that pretty easy? Because I feel like it would be difficult, especially with like costs and stuff too, and kind of like knowing where to source everything, right?
Yeah. I think having a clear vision and being flexible with giving up certain things that you might not have envisioned it to be, and just going with the flow and knowing that you can still make something really cool and like produce a product that people like without it being perfect. Because I always knew there was going to be iterations of it, and I just kept telling myself, like, just put it out there, get feedback, you can change, it's okay if it's not perfect. But I had like 3 core memories in my head that I really wanted to turn into flavors, and so it was really easy to do those blends. And then as like I came out with seasonal and limited edition blends, I just took my time with that. But sourcing, it's pretty easy to Google stuff nowadays. There's also a lot of groups and like support groups for small businesses, Asian American business owners. They have a lot of advice, a lot of blogs out there where if you're doing like supply product type of business, then there's a lot of resources out there.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And finally, do you feel like it's worth it?
I think yes. Even if you fail, even if I did not make a single penny, I think yes, because I learned so much in the process. And like while I was doubting myself the whole time, my partner was like, you know, whether or not it works or if it works or if it fails, you're investing in yourself. And that's a huge investment. And $1,200 investing in yourself, you're going to gain so much more. So I came into it with that mindset. And I think even if I completely trash failed, then I had a better understanding of the small business world.
Right.
So yeah, I think it was completely worth it.
I agree. I feel like too, you can easily see the passion you put into it, or at least I can see the passion you put into it, because not only is it a great product, but it's something that you really like, and something that you really like to work with too. Yeah,
and I don't want to put something out there that I wouldn't personally use, because then I just feel like a fake. Like, exactly, like why am I selling something that I wouldn't even personally buy myself?
It's like influencers who get partnerships with things where like,
that's why
you're not gonna use that right after this partnership. Let's be real.
Exactly. So I like to create a sense of authenticity and transparency. And if something's not good, like I'm not gonna put it out there. So
proud of you.
Thanks. Just hired a marketing intern. Very excited.
I know, that is very exciting.
Big step to let go of creative control as a past like photographer who actually made money and had a business. To let go of that creative control was hard, but I definitely needed that help.
But it's hard. You need to be scalable.
Yeah, I just did not have the time. And now I get to like mentor someone in a different way, and then just, I don't know, learn how to delegate. So
that's always a good skill to have too.
Yeah.
Yay.
Terrific. How to end it? I mean, because you're wearing a T-Rex.
That's true. That's true.
Was that planned?
I had to represent.
Was that planned?
Had to represent.
Was that planned?
Yeah. Okay, so I think, that's all I have.
Nice.
So I don't know if I'm gonna keep this part in, but I do have something for you, because I always
what that bag is?
I always like to bring a present for
so nice.
For whoever I am doing the podcast with. For people who are actually watching the podcast, I don't think they're gonna know what this actually pertains to, so this could just be an inside thing. But
Aw. Now we have a clip of like the memory.
Ta-da!
What is it? Thank you. Only food.
Oh no, it's what's in it. It's not the
bag.
bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna need that bag.
Oh, you gonna take the bag?
I'm gonna take the bag back.
You know I like packaging.
If you really want the bag, I'll let you. But
oh my god! Stop it! This is gonna be a whole lot of fun. Oh my god! Wait, can I open it?
Yeah, please do.
Oh my god! Wait, it's so soft.
ASMR unboxing.
Wait, it's so freaking cute. I love it. Oh my god! Wait, what the heck? Where did you find this? It's so freaking cute. Is it because I got you a capybara?
Well, that too. I feel like we gotta keep exchanging animals, and so my animal is a capybara for sure. But I was like, oh,
I love it.
I'm glad.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me and for getting me the alpaca. It's so cute. Look at this little tail. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I love it. Hi.
So before we sign off, or is there anything you want to shout out? I mean, we shouted out your tea business. Or maybe we should re-shout out your tea business.
And yeah, if you want tea, should I give you a discount code for your audience members? You can get 10% off with the code MATOKA in the coming weeks or so. I'll give you the...
Yeah, I'll tell you when this actually goes up.
Yeah, 10%. Use MATOKA.
And guys, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Like, this tea is phenomenal.
And you can brew it several times, so each serving is multiple cups of tea.
Did you... It's kin leaf tea.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I don't think we introduced it the whole time.
It's kin leaf tea, guys. That's what it's called.
Yes. kinleaftea.com. We'll put a link in the description.
Link in the bio, description, whatever this is going to be on.
Yes.
And do you want to shout out your YouTube channel too?
Oh, yes. I run a YouTube channel as well.
Well, they know we talked about YouTube for about 30 minutes.
True. But yes, my YouTube channel is Violet's Digest, kind of like Reader's Digest, but Violet's Digest. And I do lifestyle videos, reviews, travel, occasional wellness, etc.
And that will be in the description as well, so make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you're listening on a different platform, make sure to follow wherever you're listening at. And we'll see you next time.
Bye! I'm so happy.